director's take, looking ahead into Season 7 and BlizzCon. I'm going to BlizzCon, so we'll see. I'm excited. Hi, everyone. We've had guest writers for the last 2 director's takes, but I'm back this week looking at Season 7, how it started, how's it going, and what we can look forward to as it progresses. This season marked the release of our latest Sombra rework. The hero keeps the same hacker fantasy that she's always had, but her playstyle is more active and engaged than it was previously, which is true. You're definitely in the teamfights more and around the teamfight more. She also received a new ability, Virus. We've seen a lot of different takes on the rework and her new kit online, from dramatically overpowered to dramatically underpowered. But when you look at the data, she's trending in a great direction. Sombra's win rate quickly jumped 4 to 5%, with it being slightly higher at lower tiers and bottoming out in Masters and above around 46 to 47%. Listen, chat, I was trying my hardest there, okay? I got it, though. People are also still playing her quite a bit. Something we always observe with reworks or hero releases is a big spike, then folks go back to their mains. Sombra looks stickier initially and hasn't been followed by the same drop-off. Perhaps she's become a new main for players. We're mostly happy with where she's at as players get accustomed to her, but we are looking at the effectiveness of EMP and the frequency of her cooldowns. So, to talk about that very quickly, yeah, I mean, Sombra's rework, Sombra's much more fun to play. You know, obviously, I only can, like, really speak from, like, the tank point of view. Playing against Sombra is a lot easier than it used to be before. It used to be tough. Like, when you were a tank and playing against Sombra, the way that it would be is you knew you had to, like, force out the translocator, but then you knew you couldn't follow up. Now you have more opportunity to follow up, more opportunity to make plays, and yeah, that was the Massachusetts accent. And it sounds like what they're looking at is the effectiveness of EMP, which I imagine would be a buff to EMP, is my guess. Or are they saying nerf? And the frequency of her cooldowns. That might just mean they might adjust, like, some of, like, the... I don't know where they would go with that. I feel like EMP's been in a tough spot, so they're probably going to buff EMP. So yeah. I'm not surprised to see the Sombra win rate go up. I think the hero definitely is a lot more, like they said here, more active and engaged in the team fights, which is obviously what we're seeing, and it makes sense. So it's interesting to see. I think her win rate used to be like 40% for a while. You said the server's down? I think they're putting up a bug fix patch, so if you're having an issue logging in, just probably give it a couple minutes. Okay, we're also going to be releasing an update to Roadhog this season, including a reworked primary fire, changes to take a breather, and adding an all-new ability. So wait, they're reworking the primary fire and they're making a new ability. Okay. Based on quite a few last-minute tweaks to the kit, he won't make our mid-season patch, but instead will be coming later in the season. Okay, so this is confirming that Roadhog will not be in the mid-season patch, but later this season. I guess if, like, the last-minute tweaks were quite a bit, that does make sense. Right? Like, if the last-minute tweaks were a lot to the kit, then they probably have to go and rebalance it slightly and make sure it's working. But that as much as I want Roadhog in the mid-season patch, I would like to see that. At least it's this season still. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I think people would have liked for it to be in the mid-season patch, which is going to be what, in a couple weeks. But yeah, so yeah, the Roadhog rework is still happening, just not mid-season. All right, let's go read the next part here. We're happy with the overall state of balance in Season 7. But let's get into a little more detail based off of our stats and community feedback. So keep in mind, I want to point something out here. When they say they're happy with the overall state of balance, it means more than likely the win rates are in a pretty good spot across the board. It does not mean that they don't see that there's things that need to be adjusted or fixed or changed, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can have, like, good win rates and be like, okay, we like where the balance is at, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to go and adjust things because they're like, well, I don't think people are going to like it. They want to make it so it still feels extremely fun to play in comparison. We have seen a lot of talk around supports and their rise in power level in the meta. Oh, okay, there you go. So right away. We're making a series of changes to many of the support heroes in the game for the mid-season patch with the intent of targeting their utility and opening up windows of vulnerability. So this sounds like they're making it so the support won't always win the 1v1. Is what it seems like. So that the 1v1 won't always happen with that. Yeah. Or changing the cooldowns, etc. So we'll have to see what that is going to be, like what the change is. But like, keep in mind, this is what I was saying, that like, even if they are happy with the overall state of balance, it doesn't mean they don't recognize that supports are super strong right now and want to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was talking about like that. They can still be happy with like, oh, every hero's at 45% win rate. That's a lot higher than we normally have. That's good, right? But it doesn't mean that they look at that and go, wait a second, we still need to make adjustments. We want to be careful here in order to avoid some of the feelings of helplessness that supports had at launch, which is true. At the beginning of Overwatch 2, support struggled. But we want to lower some of the overall sustain and survivability that's present in the game currently. So that they are, what they're trying to do is change supports having the survivability they have, but they don't want it to go back to how it felt at the beginning of the game. So it's like, that's a good spot. Well, what they're going for, I can't really comment on what those changes will be because we don't know. So this is going to be more of, we'll see what the mid-season patch is, and I'll be able to react to what those changes are, and if that will be enough, if it makes the supports a lot worse, or keeps them in a good spot, right? I just don't know. They're clearly, what they're addressing is they're making changes, so support changes are coming to Overwatch, but we don't know what they are yet. We're also seeing a lot of talk around Orisa, Zarya, and Bastion. From a stats perspective, Orisa isn't one of our top performing tanks. That spot goes to Reinhardt at lower skill tiers. Not surprised by that. And Sigma at the high end. Once again, we're seeing a lot of Sigma mirrors right now. I'm not surprised by that. Keep in mind, chat. Keep in mind. If Orisa is a tank that people aren't having fun playing against, but like they're seeing Orisa win, you're going to get a lot of like matchups where somebody will switch to Orisa late also, things like that. Or actually, I don't even know if they take that into account. It might just be unmirrored from the get-go. Orisa is an interesting spot. Like I've said, I think when Orisa is overtuned, Orisa becomes like a go-to pick for people when like things aren't going well in the game. When Orisa isn't overtuned, then Orisa becomes a lot more fun to play and play against. I mean, fun to play still, but like fun to play against. So I'm curious to see if they have anything with that, but we'll see. This could be one of these cases where she feels frustrated to play against. Oh, there you go. But isn't given that same value to her team. It's funny how we're talking about that, and the next sentence says, where she feels frustrated to play against. Exactly what I'm talking about. Where Orisa feels overtuned in that sense, right? You know what I mean? We made a small tweak to her at the start of Season 7, and we're currently in a wait-and-see with her. So it sounds like they're not going to be nerfing Orisa at all at the mid-season patch. That it would come more towards Season 8. Maybe the Roadhog patch if they feel they need to make a change, but it seems like right now they don't have a plan to nerf Orisa. Like, Orisa will still be where Orisa's at. We're also planning a slight nerf to Bastion's Assault form for the mid-season patch. All the tank players are super excited with this. Right here. So Bastion is getting a bit of a nerf. What that nerf will be, we don't know, but it's happening. Bastion is also getting a nerf. Bastion is also getting a nerf. All right? What form is Assault? I imagine it's the one you go into the turret form, right? Yeah. That's turret form. That's a good change. The mid-season balance patch will include the changes to support and quite a few others, and will be roughly comparable in size to the balance patch at the start of Season 7. So it will be a pretty good balance patch for mid-season. I like that. We'll be able to get into more detail in the next few weeks as we get closer to release. All right, well, so to summarize, supports are getting nerfed, or they're adjusting support survivability a bit. Orisa's not getting nerfed. Bastion's getting nerfed. And there you go. And then obviously there's a couple other changes we don't know of. Halloween Terror has always been the most popular event in Overwatch, and this year was no exception. Not surprised. It's actually a fun event. we released a totally new game mode in Season 7 with the Trials of Sanctuary. Let's talk about this for a second. I actually very much enjoyed the Trials of Sanctuary. What I hope they can do is build off of that and create a much, like, more expanded mode. I think it was really, really cool. But I would absolutely love it if they were to take that mode and make it like a whole map. Or make it like, you know, more waves, more like additions to like your kit, etc. I think that's awesome. And I would love to see more of that. I had fun with it personally. I felt like it was also difficult on Legendary to like 5-star it, which made it even more exciting on that stuff. I enjoyed it. Personally, I enjoyed it. And I would love to see them expand on it more because that was a mode that I could see being a fun mode to play on. And if there was more mini events, like they call them limited time events. They'll sometimes like use like, I think what, LTE with that. If they can make more limited time events with this type of like concept, I think that'd be awesome. That was a really cool concept, and I think it'd be really cool to see that more. So, all right, we released, okay, so it's one of the first times we've given players the ability to gain power as well as new abilities over the course of a game, which I thought was cool. We love the mode, and it looks like players do too. On the first day of the season, over 35% of all player hours were spent in our Halloween modes, which that's a pretty good number. If you think about that, that's a pretty good number and really cool to see. We're talking about, I like this sentence. We're talking about an expanded version of this mode. We're talking about what an expanded version of this mode could look like, a way to get even more progression and player choice. And there we go, just like that. We have this whole discussion on it. That is really cool to see. I really think if they can do this, I think people, if they can find a way to like create those in limited time events, I think that would be really cool. I really enjoyed that mode. And I think if they could do that through a full map, that'd be awesome. Mad Chan, thanks for the 22 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. He said, like, Overwatch dungeons? I mean, honestly, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right. On to the next sentence. Halloween isn't our only event this season. We have several more exciting moments coming in October and November. We just announced our collab with La Seraphim. Did I say that right, chat? La Seraphim? La Seraphim? La Seraphim? I learned yesterday from chat. La Seraphim? All right, we're getting there. But yes, and I can't wait to share more. We can't go into details for now, but it's something that the team is really excited about. I can give a glimpse into what's coming after, though. It's BlizzCon. We'll be revealing our next hero at the event, plus a whole lot more of what's coming this year and next. Okay, so this I'm excited about, mainly because we knew they were going to reveal the new hero, right? They showed that on one of like the pictures, but knowing that they're also going to show more than just the new hero is really cool, because that means there's going to be like a lot to look forward to with BlizzCon, right? They're talking about what's coming this year and next year, which I think is going to be really cool, right? I mean, BlizzCon was always one of those things that was about that. For anybody who hasn't seen BlizzCon, it's always been about announcing new things and showing new things and like showcasing what's to come. Whether that's a new game announcement, a new patch, a new hero, etc. And it's really exciting. Like, it can be really, really exciting. So I'm glad to see that they're doing a lot with that, and I'm excited to see what that's going to be. I'm going to be at BlizzCon also, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, we've heard from players that they want to see us take a look at our competitive system as well as our battle pass. These are two of the top priorities for the Overwatch team, which I'm sure people will love to hear that. We'll be detailing the direction of our reworked competitive mode at BlizzCon. So they just confirmed at BlizzCon they will be showing the direction of where they're going with comp. So we're going to understand what the next comp... I'm sure they're not going to have the full details, but they're going to talk about the reworked comp, chat. Reworked comp. However, we'll be talking about a new take on our battle pass and shop changes a little later, most likely early next year. So sounds like they're going to be announcing a lot at BlizzCon, which I'm excited for. When's BlizzCon? I think 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now. So, speaking of our shop, there was a bit of controversy at the start of this season with the placement of our latest Moira skin in the Ultimate Pass bundle. Some players felt like it was the best skin of the season and were upset that the only way to obtain the skin was to purchase one of our highest priced bundles. We do sell an Ultimate Pass bundle every season with legendary skins in it, and will continue to do so. However, the lesson that we're taking away from this moment is to make sure that we provide more ways to acquire some of our most popular skins. Well, it's a really cool skin, and it was the focus of the event, which is why people wanted the option to be able to get that skin separate, right? Like, that's why. Because the bundle, I mean, not the bundle, the whole event is focused around that, right? So, like, that's why people are like, hey, can I just get that? That is really cool. Like, look at the whole event. So people are like, hey. So what they're saying is, and we'll see, obviously they're discussing, they understand, now they know what they want to do with that, but we have to see how the next seasons will be with that. But basically they're saying, if they have an event like that, they should not bundle it. So that's it for the week. We'll skip our next director's take in 2 weeks, since we'll be at BlizzCon. I'll be there too. There ought to be enough Overwatch news there to keep everyone busy. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in game. I mean, we learned a lot from this. So yeah, I'm curious to see. That definitely gets me even more excited for BlizzCon, because not only do we get to see what the new hero is, we also get to learn more about the game and like where they're going with a lot of things. I'm excited for that. So that'll be really cool. That will be really, really cool. So that is that. That is the blog post, the director's take. I enjoyed that one, and yeah, we'll see what happens.